Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Mike here, Mike's Weather Page. It is Tuesday, getting closer and closer to Major Hurricane Ian. Appreciate you coming to our YouTube channel here. We're going to do a quickie little update on what the latest models are showing, what you might expect, and this thing is pretty serious. Pretty serious. We might be seeing a little bit of track changes. A lot of people are on edge, totally understandable. But this could be, once in a lifetime storm for many folks, and these sometimes go down in history as something many will never forget. So take it serious. Right above me is the current satellite, and clear as day. It's a major hurricane crossing Cuba right now. Still expected to intensify some. Here's a better look at it. It's not expected to weaken much over Cuba. This part of Cuba is kind of flat, and it's going to be over the Gulf real soon. So not a lot of weakening expected at all. You can start to see some of this impacting all the way up into Florida Panhandle or Peninsula. We saw that yesterday. We had a lot of rain all the way up into middle part of the state. We already got some power outages down in the Keys. We've already had tornado warnings. All these squalls are coming up as expected. South Florida really getting it right now. Here's the latest track now. This came out at 5 o'clock in the morning, and they lowered the hurricane warnings farther south. Another little tick to the southeast, expecting a west central smack dab in the middle of the state landfall, and it is expected to weaken and almost come to a crawl over middle parts of the state. So again, Georgia, Carolinas, rain event mainly. Does not appear it's going to cross back over in the Atlantic. So as of now, but always stay alert. Less and less likely the Panhandle is going to see much out of this system. The only ones I'd be kind of casually watching is the Atlantic side if this thing does pop out on the other side. But it looks like it's going to weaken. There's a front. There's a lot of dry air, a lot of shear. But you are going to get a lot of rain because of this. So, all this wind's going to push moisture your way. So you will still feel effects. Here's the latest cone. This NHC stresses so much that the cone is where you should be focusing right now, not the black line that you see so typically with systems. Like I said, hurricane warnings have been extended south around Cape Coral a little farther south. The official track still shows it right smack dab down Tampa Bay as a major hurricane right here, 120 miles an hour. So they are expecting a landfall of a major hurricane. Remember, we talked about that. Totally came true. It was expected to be possibly a hurricane here, major here. If this thing turned, which it did, we have a major here. So that's exactly why now we have a stronger landfalling hurricane than some might have thought. Oh, it's only going to be a hurricane when it lands. But this is the latest track at least. And again, the cone is everything what they're stressing right now. So we can't get too wrapped up in individual model runs. Notice on the other side of the state we have tropical storm warnings now. That's because of this. We're going to have a storm coming through the state, but we're also going to have some impacts with some lines coming in off of the Atlantic. So that's why we're that. And we got a hurricane watch still to the north. Keep an eye on that. Here's your surge forecast. Still 5 to 10 feet, 5 to 8 north, 5 to 8 south. We get a little bit of track change at 11 a.m. is the next update. All eyes are on Tampa Bay, obviously. We get a little track change to the south. That could significantly lower some surge estimates for parts of the Tampa Bay. Parts, not everybody, but farther south, this thing ticks. Even if it's like Manatee, Bradenton, Sarasota, let's say, that surge now becomes the bigger issue. A little bit less to the north, a little bit less. I didn't say none. I just said the heavy surge usually is on the eastern side because of the rotation of a storm. Storms rotate counterclockwise. So this is the big question mark right now, really. Final track, how much surge will Tampa Bay area get? But we know almost for certainty that south of Tampa Bay is going to get surge regardless of the track. So you got to be really watching Skyway southward for any little track changes. But again, the cone The cone is everything. The cone, the cone, the cone. That's what they say. All right, here's another thing. Rain maps through the roof here. We're getting 15 to 20 inches of rain now, estimated right here. 15 to 20 inches of rain. I just posted it online. Totally seeing it with all the models. We're going to see double digits rain across the whole state of Florida. This is going to add to the already saturated grounds. We already saw it here in Tampa Bay. We had a rainstorm last night. There's water everywhere. It didn't go anywhere, and that was prelude to what we're going to see. Flooding could be the story here, folks. We already got groundwater saturation across the whole peninsula, pretty much the whole peninsula. 15, 20, 25. I saw an estimate of 30 inches of rain. Okay, that is going to be another story on itself right there. So we're going to have to be careful, you know, with any sort of flooding that could sneak up on us. This thing is going to slow down, continually dump rain. That could be the story that nobody's even talking about. Remember, inland, everybody's so wrapped up about wind speed, right? It ends up being water is not always, trust me, not always, but water ends up being the biggest after effect people realize. Surge, inland flooding, like never good. All right, so here's the flood potential. Obviously, the whole peninsula sticks out like a sore thumb. Everybody's got a flood potential here, even a little bit into Georgia. These are impact maps. I don't really know, man. I look at all the models and winds, but this is official. This is from the National Weather Service office. Just putting it out here. Anywhere in purple, they're saying you could see winds 110 or more. I don't think it's you will. It's you could. So purple's obviously the highest wind risk. Red is up to 110. Orange all the way to Jacksonville up to 73. That's why we have tropical storm warnings inland now, all the way to the east coast. So be careful of this map, but I think it's a potential map. It's just showing you that, hey, this is what we're seeing. There's a chance. So it's not like everybody's going to get 110 plus, but it's official. So I share it. Latest spaghetti models here, tropical tidbits. We continue to see those shifts east. They slowed down a little bit, yes. However, the latest models I'm going to show you, the 06Z models, are still ticking this a tick east. Why does it matter? Well, A, the eye wall has the most serious winds, obviously. Tick south brings those more intense winds to a different location, possibly. But surge is everything. That track, the final track, has everything to do with surge. They're talking about a Category 4 storm pushing water. Some of these surge maps that I saw are showing that if this storm comes south, Tampa might not get anything, but I don't think anybody knows. They always end up saying surge is the greatest unknown. So we got to really watch this. Sneaky. We're in high tides, higher than normal tides right now, which increase surge values too. So we got really tricky forecasts coming here. Potential for some serious surge, but modeling getting a little tighter. That's what you like to see. Still, intensity models are still showing. We can see many saying Category 4 still to come. Here's some ensembles. You know, I want to talk about this east shift. These are your Euro ensembles on weathernerds.org. The mean is below Tampa Bay, not by much. The mean, there are several still pointing towards Tampa Bay, some several south, but the mean is the black line. And the GFS, which has performed not too well in my unprofessional opinion, its mean is still a little bit towards Tampa with some south. So we're still in this tight little, believe it or not, this little wiggle wobbles are normal. The cone, we're going to feel effects in that cone, outside the cone. But we're really trying to narrow down, I guess, the exact eye wall at this point. A lot of folks want to know. Here's the latest GFS. So the big question on my mind today is how much will this strengthen? Will it go to a 4? Will it go to a 5? Will it weaken upon impact? We already know now the official forecast is a landfalling major hurricane because it's now turning. Its intensity has been predicted to maintain itself a little longer, so we have a major hurricane making landfall. Latest GFS, a little south of Tampa Bay. Well, yeah, I mean, people might say that's not a little, but the storm's huge. But if you focus on the center, a little tick south. A little tick south. Again, we're going to see if the NHC does that again. Here's the latest Euro overnight. This is 00Z. just south of Tampa Bay. But notice, all of them are slowing down. All of them are stopping. Everybody must, lives in Florida. Remember Irma? Irma came up the middle of the state, and we had a tremendous amount of damages in Pinellas County because it was still pretty hefty size storm over the state of Florida. And the Euro is still showing 978 here, middle part of the state. We could still see wraparound winds reaching large areas, trees going down, saturated grounds. Irma shocked a lot of people because it went smack dab down the middle of Florida, and we still had damages on both sides of the state. And it was a 1 when it came through the middle part of the state. So I'm still watching this slowdown here. The Euro is not showing it weaken much as it eventually stalls and pulls north. That's why we're getting these huge rains totals. Everyone's showing that stall. Everyone's showing that little wiggle back north. But by Georgia, look, it's weakening. The good news, it still potentially could be a tropical storm, but now the official forecast is a tropical depression. Noteworthy here is what the heck is that? Noteworthy is going to be the GFS we showed is the H-Wharf. The H-Wharf has trended west the whole time. This was my concern originally. The H-Wharf is a great intensity model. It's predicted 938 right now. This is tomorrow morning, 938. But look, it maintains that intensity, 937. And it's trended a little bit more east, but 945 intensity. That would still be a devastating category. What is a 930? 930 range. That could be middle 4. So definitely a lot of big dogs are talking about maybe category 4 maintaining a little longer. And that is only going to increase the wind shear. So the all-important 11 o'clock track is coming out. Here's kind of what we saw yesterday. This is the HRR. Pretty much just shows you the rain. It's not a very good tracking model, but look, this is throughout the day-to-day. Look at these rain bands. They're already sneaking up throughout the day-to-day. And that's just what it could look like. South Florida getting pounded. Like I've mentioned, they're getting storms, tornadoes. Squall line will still be setting up even though the eye wall's to your north tomorrow. So, continuing storms down south. That's why we have flood potentials. That's why SPC has potential tornado risks. Always a risk of tornadoes with tropical systems. Here's today. Yellow means good chance for possible tornadoes. That's a big chunk of the peninsula right there, right? Tomorrow, even greater, moving north. So 2 days of severe storms and possible tornadoes. And of course, then the rain. This is the rain. This is what we showed. But man, I've seen forecasts as high as double digits. So, all right. Well, there's your latest updates. Hopefully, helped you guys and gals out. Spread the word. This is serious. If you're ordered to evacuate, that's your decision. But man, totally listen to your local officials and make the best decision you feel that you need to make for your family. And we'll get through this, right? You still got time to prepare. So I'll do a live here later here at 9:19 Eastern, and then we'll do maybe one tonight. I don't know. We're getting to the point now we kind of know where it's going and stuff. I am streaming live. I am going to be out there in the field. So stay tuned to Mike's Weather page here on YouTube and also Facebook. I'll be streaming a lot. So if you got anybody local that lives in the area, spread the YouTube channel, please, because I'll be streaming a lot, and people really appreciate somebody there, let them know what's going on real time and not sit somewhere away from home wondering. So I'll be streaming maybe as soon as tonight, but for sure tomorrow. All right. Live, that is, not updates like this. We're talking live webcam storm chasing. All right. See ya. Thank you. Bye-bye.